Well, things just got complicated. After the incident, the field trip to Forever Falls was still a go. Team RWBY was gathering sap while Ruby was goofing off. Weiss was scolding She and Yang were gathering sap as Blake was on the lookout. Jaune was on overwatch with his enhanced senses. He kept a sharp eye out. Kira was gathering sap while Ren is trying to prevent and easily failing Nora from devouring their supply. It was all quiet until a jar shattered in midair, but a few saplings stained his armor. Everyone looked to see a smoking bolt pistol. Ruby had stars in her eyes as she saw the piece of art. Jaune's heightened vision and targeting system found four idiots laughing in the distance, preparing to launch another. Once they topple before it escapes the makeshift catapult, it was hit by another bolter round. Jaune was not amused. Jaune, guys, get the professor. I'm going to deal with these slime myself. Kira opted to join him as Ruby followed along with Weiss weapons drawn. Team CRDL was seen squaring up with a space marine. Jaune, you know attacking is one thing, but aiming at my friends, that's another. Team CRDL panics and backs into the box of rapier wasps, releasing them many if the students' eyes widen as they scanned to detect the sweet scent coming from the Astartes. They then swarm him, causing the others to panic as they all knew a rapier wasp stinger is as strong and long as a short sword, and it can penetrate through aura. But the Astartes nonchalantly stood there as they peck and stung at the armor, not even leaving a scratch. Jaune yawns as he blocked his faceplate with his hand, and then pulled out another weapon from his arsenal that he brought over to Beacon. He let loose a stream of flames, burning the swarm. Jaune, it may not be Prometheum, but it gets the job done. Now, with the excitement dwindling and Team CRDL on thin ice, Jaune was gonna educate them, but a large Ursa strayed into their area. As it matches Jaune's height. Jaune, you're big, but I fought bigger. As he cracks his knuckles and prepared to attack until lightning struck the Ursa, instantly reducing it to ash, and kicks up so much dust that everyone had to cover their eyes. But Jaune's helmet protected him from it, but inside his eyes were dinner plates. Now in front of him stood one of his uncles, Magnus the Red. Magnus scanned the entire area with his gaze to see many natives, but his lone eye stopped at one individual that caught his attention. It was an Astartes, but bearing no legion or number. Seeing the heraldry not related to any of the 20 pre-March legions. Bearing colors not associated with any of the legions. His gaze shifted when he removed his helmet. A striking resemblance to Roboutte, but with long flowing hair and cobalt blue eyes, but with a face filled with experience and wisdom, but bearing the gentle aura of someone like Vulcan. Magnus. Ah, so you're my long-lost nephew, if I'm not mistaken. Jaune, Uncle Magnus. But how? Magnus. The wart, my boy. Jaune then narrows his eyes that reminded Magnus of the Emperor's judging gaze. Jaune. And you didn't bring any warp predators with you? Last time I was sent through the warp, I was forced to play a stupid card game for my freedom. Magnus, oh no, dear boy. I was careful to avoid Sinch's domain and used the stealth that Corvus uses to come find you. So, where are we? The red trees and this nature makes me feel at ease. Jaune, a peaceful world known by the name Remnant on the outskirts of the eastern fringe. Magnus, I would like to study this place. Take me to your palace. Jaune, I lived like a mortal uncle, and sadly I have no love of being treated like a higher being. Magnus, oh ho father would like to hear that. I can picture his face that his only grandson chose to live like a simple man. But he would still try to spoil you. Jaune, yes he would. And Magnus, don't worry about your parents, they are looking for you and your sister. Now where is she? Jaune, she settled down somewhere else with a partner. Magnus, wow, that fast. I guess Eldar were more prone to being in a relationship than us. But their discussion was interrupted by the arrival of several onlookers. Belinda, Mr. Ark, stand back. Jaune moved to block them. Jaune, and oh, he's my uncle. Weiss, How in the world is that red-skinned giant related to you? Magnus. Oh, I'm just foreign from a different planet, that's why I'm like this. Jaune slammed his armored hand across his face. It didn't hurt. Everyone, different planet? Magnus tilted his head in confusion. Jaune, this is gonna be a long day. The truth is out now. What would Jaune do? Tell them the truth or make a white lie.